Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us here at CBT Now, right here at the CBT Automotive Network. You've got a lot of questions when it comes to installing a BDC in your dealership. Maybe you've got a BDC and you've got some questions on how to turn it up a notch and really get the most out of it. We are so happy to be joined once again in the studio by Karen Bradley, who is the CEO of Dealer Synergy, a great BDC company. Also joined by her husband, who is the president of Dealer Synergy, Mr. Sean V. Bradley. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. There's a lot of dealers that are saying, I think I need a BDC. You know, what should I consider about that? Maybe I'll start off with you, Sean, asking, you know, why a BDC? Why does a dealer need that?
That's a great question. So in the spirit of Dr. Covey from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the third habit is put first things first. Mm-hmm. Be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. And what I mean by that is, as a dealer or general manager, you need to be able to look at your business and say, okay, where is my opportunity? Where's my preeminent opportunity?
Right.
And there's nothing that a dealer could do, respectfully, in my opinion, that's going to be more profound than internet and BDC, because when 99% of Americans go online before they step foot into dealership, mm-hmm. when 90% of all transactions start on search, that tells me that internet and phones are the preeminent category. So
right.
With that being said, the challenge is this: to BDC or not to BDC, right? Like Shakespeare.
That is the question.
That is the question: to BDC or not to BDC.
That's right.
And the question that I hear from over 500 plus 20 groups I've spoken at
Sure.
is, should we keep it in-house or should we get a BDC reps to do it? Mm-hmm. Here's my professional opinion. Yes, a salesperson theoretically can take internet leads, but the problem is this, Jim, is that there's 8 ways that a showroom salesperson or a sales department could sell cars. You've got walk-in ups, you've got B-backs, you've got internet ups, you've got phone ups, mm-hmm. you got prior customers, you got orphan owners, mm-hmm. you got service conversions, you got referrals, and you got
right.
the lost letter prospecting. The challenge is, how could your sales team handle all of the fresh internet leads, the carryover leads, mm-hmm. and the other 7 ways? The point is, it's impossible. Mathematically, right. you hit a point of diminishing return.
Yeah.
Something's not going to be able to
yeah.
get hit. So I say, yes, you absolutely should have a BDC, mm-hmm. but I have a spin on it. I don't like just having call center reps or BDC reps. I build and I like hybrids. Mm-hmm. A hybrid is where you're going to have appointment setters, but you do strategically use the salespeople to work interdependently in the department, if that makes sense.
Walk me through that.
Okay.
What does that mean exactly?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. We have Bob Ruth Ford.
Okay.
We took a single point Ford dealership in Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, mm-hmm. population only 2,500,
right.
from selling 75 units a month on the internet mm-hmm. to selling 356 units the other month, just recently,
yeah.
out of their BDC. They've got 9 BDC reps.
Right.
They've got 3 in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania, and they've got 6 overseas. Mm-hmm. So they've got 9 BDC reps. What we do is we basically take a percentage. I suggest roughly about 40% of the entire floor. Okay, so if there's 20 salespeople on the floor,
right.
we're going to turn around and take about 8 salespeople. Mm-hmm. And these 8 salespeople, when they're not doing a product presentation, mm-hmm. demonstration drive, or delivery, they are a point guard. Okay. What a point guard is, like in basketball, they get the ball first.
Right.
They check in with the desk and say, okay, I'm cleared on my follow-up.
Right.
Can I go tag in with the BDC director?
Okay.
They say yes. The BDC director acts like an air traffic control is going to say, let's say you're a point guard, hey, Jim, Karen doesn't come in until 11 o'clock, log into her file
right.
and start making calls. So the salespeople that are on this team as point guards, they act as a substitute teacher.
Okay.
So I don't know why nobody else figured this out, but I figured this out decades ago. Mm-hmm. Is I was like, okay, if I've got 5, 8, 10, 12 BDC chairs,
yeah.
how can I have all of those chairs operational from open to close?
Right.
So what we do is we have the staff of the BDC reps, mm-hmm. but then we have a portion of the sales floor
okay.
that we interchange as substitute teachers.
Okay. Let me just interject this concept, and that is that the dealers that I talk to mm-hmm. say that they've got individual, or I should say salespeople that also work in the BDC. However, they have found that unless it's the right person that wants that BDC seat, okay, yeah. you have a prisoner that goes, okay, I've got to be in here for 90 minutes, okay? Oh my God, do I hate this. This isn't why I got into the car business. I want to be out on the beautiful showroom floor interacting with customers that are coming in. I do way better, yes. In front of somebody 100%. Than I do on the call. And that comes through on the call, mm-hmm. And the person just knows that this person does not want to be on this phone call right now.
Yes, the energy's not right.
So how does a dealer or
But that's
you...
the exact point, right?
Right.
you want to take your salespeople and you want to make them the ones that are answering all of these internet leads, yet they don't want to be in that position doing it. They want to be on the showroom floor. They want to be face to face with the customer. So why would you take that same profile of person and sit them back somewhere that they don't want to be, or even in their chair on the showroom floor, making those calls just because they have to?
Because I've had that in showrooms that I've run where, you know, they'll just come to me and say, look, I'll sell you 20 cars a month. Never put me in that room again. You know, otherwise I got to look for another dealership to work for.
It takes a different personality.
And we have the answer.
It really does. It really does.
In the infinite wisdom of Wu-Tang Clan, Cream, cash rules everything around me. So what I mean by that is money. It's money. It's if you can incentivize them, here's what we recommend is this. Let's just pretend I'm talking to the sales team, okay? I'm gonna say, hey, everybody, we got great news. We're gonna have this new system in here. So what's gonna happen is if you are a point guard, first and foremost, when you're not doing a product presentation, demonstration, drive delivery, you're gonna go to the internet director and they're gonna tell you, like air traffic control, which BDC reps file you're gonna go into. Why would they do that? First reason, it's not a great reason, but it's a reason. Whatever they make, they take. So let's say, Jim, if you were a point guard, you're on the internet sales team, you're gonna go into Karen's file in her Vin Solutions CRM. If you make an appointment, whatever you make, you take is yours. But here's the real value. Let's say they have 5 or 9 BDC reps. Rhetorical question, who gets those deals if the appointment setters make them? Well, in my system at Dealer Synergy, the point guards do. So now this protects the salespeople because one of the biggest pushbacks is like, I don't want to leave the lot. I might miss a 5-pound deal. I don't want to miss the showroom because I might be giving up something easy. So what we say is, look, whatever you make, you take, but that's not even the real gravy. The real value is whenever the BDC reps make appointments, they're going to go first and foremost to the point guards. Only if a point guard isn't available does it go to the available salesperson. Now that's incentive. But for you to get that, you cannot just go sit there and take internet, bones or deals. You have to be a working coordinator, working BDC rep. Does that make sense?
Another good way is to actually incubate people in the BDC. So if you promote from within the BDC to the showroom sales floor, they're not going to have the phone reluctance. They're going to feel comfortable in the environment. They're going to want to go back there and see the people that they once worked with, right? They feel like a team member. So that's a really great way to
And we're in a new time now. We have been over the last number of years where you can take that BDC operator and bring them over to the showroom. It used to be, it's 2 different skill sets, but no longer. I think as a dealer, if I were a dealer today, and it's been a little while, I think I would want to take that person out of the BDC and then make them a sales professional because they're so skilled in both areas.
If I may, we've done recruiting and staffing for 20 straight years. We've owned Dealer Synergy. We've literally hired over 38,000 automotive professionals in the last 20 years. It's a lot. And what we found, it is a lot easier to find a BDC rep that doesn't have any automotive experience, train that person than it is to find a salesperson that doesn't have automotive experience. So what Karen was saying is correct. If we have a BDC rep that's doing well, that's inbound, outbound, objections, rebuttal, CRM skills, it's not that hard to teach them product knowledge. So that's the one way that we incubate them. But another way what we do is when we hire new hires on the floor, like showroom sales consultants, before they hit the floor in our system, let's just say it's a 2 or 3 week onboarding new hire training. Before you put them on the floor, they have to work a minimum of 1 to 2 weeks in the BDC. Not as a sales rep, as a BDC rep. Because what we're doing is we're teaching them to respect the protocol. We're teaching them, the fundamentals of inbound, outbound communication, phone skills, etc. So we have a bi-directional incubation. Either A, we're going to hire salespeople and make them do a tour in the BDC, or B, we're going to hire BDC reps and promote them strategically onto the floor. So within 6 months or so, the store's culture is definitely pro BDC.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And we know now that because of the high turnover in the industry, which it's 70-80%, it's absolutely ridiculous, and maybe even more now because you've got this exodus of people that were making crazy money in the last 3 or 4 years. Now they're going, wait a minute, I'm not making as much. I got to work 3 times as hard. So there's an opportunity, I think, here for when dealers, you bring in those people, those new people, to be thinking more BDC and a different skill set than just somebody that's really good with people, right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
One of the other
an
things
opportunity.
that's also complicating things, in my opinion, it's not just do we find the right people, right? It's how are you going to train these people?
Right.
How are you going to manage these people? And how are you going to be able to do so?
Don't you just put them in there with the phone?
Yeah.
I was
And a
going to
headset,
say, I think some
and then-
people just like throw them
Yeah,
in
that's what
some
they do.
dark room,
Room.
and they're like, just make a bunch of phone calls.
I have talked to those
this
dealers.
thing is not
and then-
succeeding.
yeah.
Let's
And
get
the-
rid of it.
Right, and then exactly, the dealer will go, I tried a
It
BDC,
didn't work.
it didn't work. And you're
Right.
like, no, you did not try a BDC. You tried a closet with some people in it. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
then a computer screen that says, here's all of our orphan owners. Start calling
Start
them.
with the
What-
hardest yes,
Exactly.
leads.
What should I say? I don't know. Just
Yeah.
ask them if they want to buy a car, right? And yeah, I have seen that. I've heard it. I've seen it firsthand.
Do you know that's one of the biggest reasons why BDCs don't work? So this is like a tip to your audience.
Yeah.
Is exactly what we're talking about. All kidding aside, is that when you take new people, phone skills people, and you
Right.
throw them in a room with a bunch of computers, if you think about it, they're doing internet follow-up. They're doing inbound phone up responses. They're doing data mining, equity mining, special finance.
That's if they know
acquisition.
even how to do all that stuff.
But that's the whole point. But
Right.
dealers don't realize that we need to incubate people, train them
Right.
in one area instead of them doing 50 million things.
I know.
They're like a jack of all trade and a master of none.
I know.
When we define BDC, it's not a sales department. So when people say an internet sales department,
Yeah.
it's not instant gratification. 26 and a half years doing internet BDC, here's my my synopsis. The hardest part about internet or BDC is just getting connected with the prospect,
Right.
getting them to respond to you. So to me, a BDC is a follow-up department. That's exactly what it is, because sometimes it takes days, weeks, or months of follow-up before a prospect ever responds.
Yeah.
So if you go into building a BDC thinking that you're going to get instant gratification, you might get some, but the real value is the intermediate to the long-term follow-up. Like,
So how long, if I'm a dealer and I'm listening to this and I say, all right, you sold me, I got to have a BDC, they got to be trained, whether it be with Dealer Synergy or one of your competitors, whatever, I'm going in this direction.
Dealer Synergy.
But if they decide on that, how long does a dealer give it? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it a year before they sit back down and go, okay, now let's take a look at this investment and everything that we had to do, and did we check all the boxes? And if we did, then what can I expect?
respectfully, I can't speak about any other BDC company, but
Yeah.
at Dealer Synergy,
Yeah.
30 days.
30 days,
You're
okay.
like, because it's going to take us about 30 days to get things in order. The recruiting, staffing,
Yeah.
the CRM modification,
Yeah.
maybe
There's a lot
tweaking
that
the
goes
market.
into
Yeah,
it.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of different moving parts, but it's really simple. It's either on or it's off.
Yeah.
You're going to
It's black
know
or white,
immediately. It's
there's
black
no
or
gray.
white.
Right.
You're going to know immediately
Right.
if this is working or not working. So I say,
Right.
as soon as it gets set up,
Yeah.
that first month, you're going to be able to tell if it's ROI or not. You don't
That's
Or at
need-
least heading in the right direction.
That's right.
Right?
That's
yeah,
right.
and this is sincerely one of the most important and dramatic things is that I call it the residual flow factor. The average dealership right now in 2024 is receiving approximately 500 internet purchase requests between the OEM website, the dealership website, third-party providers, online classifieds. the
In what
magic
period of
numbers.
time? A month?
Wait, 30 days.
In 30 days,
Within 30
okay.
days. So let's just use this. In the month of September,
Right.
from September 1st to the end of September,
Right.
if your store gets 500 fresh leads, most people think that if they sold 50 cars this month
Yeah.
or that month,
Yeah.
that's 10%.
Right.
It's completely, that's wrong. That's not a right number.
Yeah.
Because when they started September 1st, follow me, this is big.
You
When they
have carryover.
started September 1st,
Yeah.
if you ran a report in the CRM, how many active leads are 90 days or less old?
Right.
What I'm going to tell you is it's going to be a minimum of about 800 to 900
Okay.
carryover leads.
Okay.
Okay, so if you started September 1st with, let's just say, 800 carryover leads
Yeah.
that are 90 days or less old,
Right.
forget about any fresh leads,
Yeah,
Jim.
yeah.
If you're going to just have those 800 carryover leads,
Yeah.
we suggest that that should be about a 5% closing ratio.
Right.
So at a 5% closing ratio, that's 40 net cars you should be delivering before you get your first, fresh lead.
for September.
Exactly.
Right.
And then if you get 500 fresh leads that month,
Right.
okay, 10% of that
Yeah.
is 50.
Right.
So to me and Dealer Synergy, you're looking at a 90-unit department with only 500 fresh leads.
Okay.
So that's the power of a BDC. If
Okay.
you have the proper infrastructure, it's not just the instant gratification, it's the carryover leads as well.
Right.
Now, if we play with numbers, one of our clients is from the Coons Automotive Group, which is Tyson's Toyota, right? They sell 800 cars a month.
Right.
They get like 3,000 or 4,000 fresh leads a month.
Yeah.
So a store like that has a residual flow factor of 8,000 leads.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you had the proper infrastructure and you have the proper BDC?
Yeah, that's why they're selling 800 cars a month.
Exactly.
Right. And no manager is ever going to run in to the dealer and go, hey, look, boss, look how much we suck on these carryover leads. We're not selling any of them.
Volume
You will never get that.
Yeah.
Well, I've never had that as a GM walk into my office and say, let me show you, basically after we pull the numbers, how much we are bad at these numbers, right?
Yes.
So that was a great addition. But so Karen and Sean Bradley, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Appreciate
the company's Dealer Synergy. You've seen it out there. By the way, I don't own any of Dealer Synergy. You guys know it's totally up to you. Pick any company that you want. These guys happen to be doing it for a long time, and we appreciate you coming in and sharing your insights.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you for having
absolutely.
us.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.